I don't know if he's still in Philly or where he is. He might be in Los Angeles. I don't know where he is. Dave was joking around. He said, live in front of your naked Stephen ears, rise and smell the prosperity. You know, he comes on, he's all joking around. Now, Danny Bonaducci is all about Danny Bonaducci. He hardly let Dave talk. He was talking the whole goddamn time. It's unbelievable. And he was asking them the most inane questions, like...
Oh, yeah, that was... it was horrible. And he is out west, by the way. He's not in Philly.
Yeah, I thought so. He's in
because Dave was doing a whole bunch of, interviews around the Vegas area.
Absolutely. So the interesting thing here is, like, the little nugget that we got out of that interview was Dave was fired from his last Vegas stint, which was back in 95. He said he was at one of the biggest hotels. He didn't mention which ones, but I thought it was Bally's, right? He said for the certain sense of humor that he had, he says that the type of humor that would get him on SNL these days. So he said he'd have the girls dancing around him, and he'd point to one and point to the other, and he says they're hot enough to make Michael Jackson quit the Boy Scouts. And that comment apparently got him fired from the hotel, and that's what Dave revealed in that interview. And he also had just a funny line. I thought this was funny. He says, I've gone from high karate to high cholesterol. Which I thought was...
So interestingly, he has told that story before.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, because I totally got deja vu when he said the punchline. That was number one. And number two, apparently where Dave is playing at the House of Blues at Mandalay Bay, there is a Michael Jackson show or something like that across the way at the same hotel.
Oh, boy.
So I thought that was very, very ironic in light of that situation.
That is funny. The next one came from DSC, Jimmy the Shower Cow, which I thought was I never heard of this guy. So... one thing he was talking about Van Halen, he was talking about the music. He says, there's a dark side to Van Halen music that makes it swing. It's the sea salt that makes the caramel sugar so sweet, yo. That's what made Van Halen go. There's sparks, anxiety, contention, and conflict. It's like a John Wick movie. He reiterated that he wants the songs the way people remembered them. Like he was really driving home. Oh, you're going to get Van Halen songs and you're going to get them the way you heard them and on the record. And so the guy says, what are you opening the show with? And he's opening the show with Panama. That's another nugget we got from that. He also said, we're not a tribute band. This is elite. This is the real thing. And he says the band has been rehearsing for 8 months. That is a really long time to be rehearsing. And he says, oh, we take it seriously. Las Vegas, Planet 13. He'll bring you to various states of hysterical ecstasy. And boy, I tell you, this guy's never short of words. It's incredible.
No, right. Although you got to wonder, like, how often is it for 8 months? I mean, if they're practicing once a week for 8 months, that makes sense.
That's fine. But, I mean, yeah, it's crazy. So then one of the guys asked him, what is your favorite Van Halen song? What do you think is Van Halen's greatest song? And believe it or not, he said Jump, which I disagree with. I guess, I don't know, it's an easy answer or whatever. Then he started getting into the whole story about how the record company wanted to release Running with the Devil, but... he thought You Really Got Me drew the women more than the men. He says, he goes, Running with the Devil's something you play with for the fellas before you go out and play rugby.
I heard that too, and I think he's full of caca because I thought what happened is that, and I think we talked about this in another segment, that Angel got wind that Van Halen was going to release You Really Got Me. Right. And so they were going to release You Really Got Me. Right. Because Ed had played the album for Angel, and then the record company got wind of this, so they released You Really Got Me.
God, that's crazy.
So David Lee Roth's story makes for a nice story, but I'm not really sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying that doesn't jive with the story we've heard over the years.
Exactly. His new line also is, I have a smile that launched 1,000 hips. So he just talking about his draw to women, which is hysterical. He also said that he's naming his band the Horses of God, which I thought was a little egotistical. Does that make him God? I don't know.
Interesting.
I know. He's crazy. What can I tell you? He's not even drunk, which is funny.
Right. He has no excuse.
I know. It's hysterical. So now, as we're getting deeper into these interviews, you start to smell a little resentment. So he did one with the Van Halen news desk, and he says here, 4 summers have gone by, and for a singer, that's paralyzing. Like a boxer or a tap dancer, I am dependent upon my whole rig, my whole body. Perhaps playing a guitar or piano with your hands is a bit more forgiving over the years. If you come and watch me now, I'm 65 going on 23. If you saw my x-rays, I'm 65 going on 80. I've paid the price for the time off, frankly. Enough said there. I hope the best for the fellas, but I don't know what's coming up with Van Halen. It's time for me to use whatever talents and skills I have left. I'm betting the rent on it. So this sounds like Dave is throwing all the chips down, and he is going for it as hard as he can. What did you make of that?
Well, again, it doesn't sound like there's anything happening with the band anytime soon.
I know. But he sounds angry, doesn't he?
Yeah, if you listen to all the interviews, you get like little 1 or 2 sentence nuggets where he's kind of like, I've been a good team player and I've been waiting.
Right.
And now I was waiting for nothing.
Right.
So I'm done. I'm done. I'm doing what I got to do because the clock is ticking.
Right.
And that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, the real kicker came in this, and we urge everyone who listens to the podcast to seek out this podcast, Design Matters by Debbie Millman. I'm not even sure what kind of podcast it is, but she did a great job interviewing Dave. It came out on like August 19th, but he says she asked him a question, and this just went in an interesting direction. She really got under his skin a little bit. Not under his skin, but like under his veneer, I should say. She says, when have you felt sorry for yourself? He said, currently, my running comedy line is Fear and Revenge are my main pivot. Revenge is on my wristwatch because it's around 10 years too fast. Then he says, I wasted a lot of fucking time waiting for the guitar player. I'm not going to change him, and I'm not going to change history in the rearview mirror. Get ahead of it. That line alone, I wasted a lot of fucking time waiting for the guitar player. I'm not going to change him. I mean, that's about as frank as you get, right? I mean,
and I do agree with you. You should definitely search out that podcast.
That is the most unique Dave interview ever.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it is arguably one of the best, if not the best.
Yeah.
I mean, she really had mad interview skills. And when Dave would say something, she'd immediately follow up, well, what does that mean?
Right. He tried to Bozy bop her many times.
Oh, yeah. and she was not having it.
No.
But he enjoyed it a lot because she did a good job of getting him to explain what he meant when he starts Bozy bopping.
Right.
And she really reined him in. So I recommend to anybody, it is an hour and a half, well worth your time. Even if there's not a ton of Van Halen information there, it really is as cohesive of a David Lee Roth interview as you are ever going to get.
Right, yeah. She really gave it to him. So I made up a little bit of a guest set list, and I'm going to run this down to you, Dave, and see what you think. So he's saying like 20 songs, right? So I'm thinking he has got to be focusing on the most recognizable, straight-ahead, cross-the-board songs that everybody would know. That is my guess. So I'm thinking California Girls, Just a Gigolo, Yankee Rose, Just Like Paradise. I think those 4 are going to be his solo, which leaves 16 left of Van Halen. You know what I'm saying? So that's my guess. So I'm thinking he's going to go with Running with the Devil, Jamie's Crying, You Really Got Me, Ice Cream Man, Dance the Night Away, Beautiful Girls, Everybody Wants Some, And the Cradle Will Rock, Pretty Woman, Unchained, I'll Wait, Half a Teacher, Jump, Panama, Ain't Talking About Love. You know, the only alternatives, he's talking about 26. You know what I'm saying? So he maybe an extra 6. I'm thinking Little Guitars. I'm thinking Mean Street, Romeo Delight, I'm the One. Then I'm thinking either maybe She's the Woman or Tattoo. I'm thinking maybe he'll revive Dancing in the Street because of the popularity of the Struts version. So This Is Love could be a possible alternate. I don't know. What do you think?
Okay, so somebody apparently somewhere found the songs that he claims he is playing.
Really?
Yes, and I don't know if it was off his podcast or off of some press that he was doing. But anyway, here is the list of songs. You ready?
Yeah.
Running with the Devil.
Right.
Jump. Panama. Dance the Night Away. Yankee Rose. Everybody Wants Some. She's Looking Good.
Wait a minute. What the fuck is that?
That's off his last solo album.
Oh, the Diamond Dave?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's the deep cut.
Okay.
Going Crazy.
Right.
Little Guitars.
Yeah.
Hot for Teacher. And the Cradle Will Rock. Ice Cream Man. Somebody Get Me a Doctor.
Yeah.
California Girls. Unchained. Pretty Woman. Beautiful Girls. Tobacco Road. Atomic Punk. Mean Street. Ain't Talking About Love. Jamie's Crying. Bottoms Up. You Really Got Me. And Just a Gigolo.
Wow. Okay. All right.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. That deep cut stands out for sure.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
I got to be honest. I know this sounds... I'm shocked. No, Just Like Paradise?
Yeah, that's
literally his biggest hit.
That's his
original,
biggest hit.
Original, at least. You know.
Oh, yeah. No, I hear you. So, I was all ready to pick the songs I was thinking of doing, and then somebody put out that list, and I'm like, oh, great. Somebody did my homework for me. I'm done.
Do you have any idea how many songs that is you listed?
Well, ironically, I'm an accountant, and I did not count them.
Okay, all right.
But it's roughly 25.
Okay,
so.
Right. Okay. Well, that sounds about close. He did some deeper cuts than I expected. Some nice little guitars in there, and Atomic Punk, the song from the Diamond Dave album. It's nice that he touched upon that. And I was wondering, I even had some alternates on my list I didn't even mention. I was wondering, because there's a House of Blues, if he was going to do like Lady Luck because he's in Vegas, or Little Ain't Enough, or Slam Dunk.
Oh, yeah. Lady Luck would have been. Yeah, good call on that one.
Who knows?
But apparently not.
Apparently not. So we'll have to see. It should be interesting. Dave and I are going back-to-back nights, so we're hopefully going to see, a little change in the set. That should be fun. Look, I wish Dave the best. I hope he has a long run. I don't even know how tickets are selling or what the criteria is on it, but you can get tickets at Ticketmaster.com. They start at about $63, and they go up from there. Dave and I are going to be in the GA, which is like the floor, like the pit. But then there's like VIP seating and booths on the side, and then there's tables and there's bar seats. It's like all kinds of different seating configurations over there. So I'm curious to see how that runs. I tell you, these Vegas residencies, the tickets for any of them, I know Journey's doing one, right? Aerosmith, Bruno Mars, all these guys, they're like more expensive than like a regular show that you see at an arena for some reason. I don't know.
There's like a Vegas premium.
Yeah, there is. That's exactly the way to put it. There's like a Vegas premium to it. So I don't know. It's pretty crazy. I'm excited to see it. It sounds like he's going to have a hot band. So curious to see how he's going to dress, what he's going to do. There's not a lot of room for talking in that set list if he's going to keep it tight. Now, what do we know about Vegas? Number one, there will probably be no opening act. The show will probably go on and be over, and they want you to gamble. That's always the case with these casino shows. They want you in and out of there by 10 o'clock. That's always the way, because whenever Dave and I would go see a show at Foxwoods in Connecticut, where Dave lives in Connecticut, and very often if there's a show up there, we'd go hit something. They always end the show by 10 because they want people out there gambling. Very often, if you see a show in New York and then you see it in Foxwoods, they might even cut a few songs just to get the people out earlier.
Oh, yeah,
it's crazy.
That happens a lot with a lot of casinos.
Yeah,
shows.
A lot of casinos. Yeah. It's like the casino cut. They cut like 3 songs off the end or something.
Yes.
Just to get people going.
Yep.
So anyway,
I've seen that. Yeah.
Are moving.
Although that did not happen when we saw Van Halen at Mohegan.
No, they didn't.
They played a full set.
They did, but they had no opening act.
That's true too.
Yeah. So
no, they had Coolin again.
Did they?